one has to muster the courage to face it head on, take command oneself to do what he knows he should do. I mean, sloth is a form of cowardice in the sense that sloth prevents a person from mustering the strength of will to actually do what needs to be done, to do the right thing, usually in favor of doing, not necessarily being completely lifeless or being completely inert. I mean, you find people who are very slothful, who are constantly in motion, doing frivolous things, doing the easy things, the pleasant things, the enjoyable things, not grappling with the difficult things that need to be done, not actually fulfilling their primary responsibilities of life. So no matter how busy they are, they can still be very slothful in not prioritizing the things that really are their prior obligations. And that is a result of their avoiding. They stay busy with frivolous things to avoid the things that are difficult. And that is because of a certain cowardice, a lack of fortitude. No one likes to be accused of being a coward. No one likes to think of himself as being a coward. But actually, the slothful person is a coward. He has to overcome it with fortitude, really. He has to overcome it by facing the reality. Look, rejecting the graces of God to do the things that I'm bound to do, my obligations, my state in life. That's where my focus should be. That's where my effort should be. And not looking for anything else as an excuse to do instead. I need to face these things for what they are, my primary obligations, and I need to apply myself to get them done. Prime example in my case would be paperwork. I detest paperwork. I realize that I'm not unique in that. There are many, many people who detest paperwork. Part of the reason I detest paperwork is because my eyes have a hard time focusing on the print, especially, the very fine print. And it's very laborious. And I find that I have to really command myself and take control to order myself to do this. So I say this because I know what sloth is. I mean, I fight this too, to do the things that I find very distasteful, with greater or less success. Okay. So I know that this is what needs to be done, not only in the abstract, because it's in the pages of the moral theology books that we study in the seminaries in Latin. It tells us about slothfulness and the 7 capital sins and remedies and so on. But also from a personal, practical point of view, it really does require that one assert the will to take command of himself, to apply himself to the task at hand, and just get it done. And generally what it comes down to is just taking one step at a time. If one looks at the entire task, it can be so daunting. If one says, well, I want my doctorate, but I have to write my doctoral thesis and I have to go through this whole process, and it's a very daunting process, it could be overwhelming. If one, is undertaking some enormous journey or whatever it is, I mean, it can be so daunting as he looks at the whole thing at once. They say that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. That's the old saying. Well, it comes down to us, and it's true. It's a truism. So somebody who wants to begin to overcome that cowardice of slothfulness has to begin by facing the responsibilities of his state in life and applying himself, but he has to begin to take it down in bite-sized pieces. He has to take it down in one step at a time and gradually accomplish it. And the more he accomplishes it, the more he accomplishes step by step by step, the more sense of accomplishment he has. The sense that I can do this, I must do this. I've got no excuse not to do it now. I see I'm accomplishing this, and I'm building up a certain momentum now, and I can carry through, and I'm going to push through to get this job done and do it well. That's basically, from the practical point of view, what we have to do to address the more arduous duties of our state in life, to serve God. And if we are married men, if we're priests, if we're sisters, we're teachers, whatever it is, parents have very serious obligations, and they have to prioritize those obligations. And they can't just brush them off in favor of other things that are, let's say, more delightful to them. But they have to take them seriously and accomplish them step by step by step.